Welcome back, my starlights, to Starlit Veil of Crimson, the space where creativity and the divinity converge. I'm your host, Star Watcher, and today we step deeper into the mystic current of the Art Witch. This is episode 2, Imagination, Intuition, and Intention, the inner realms of the Art Witch. If episode 1 was just a simple sketch in outline, today we become bold and paint with color. We'll explore how the inner child, intuition, and imagination form the spiritual core of artistic witchcraft, and how intention is the sacred thread that binds them all. Now, before we truly begin, I want to remind you that tonight is the new moon, and of course I pulled a card, and today's card I pulled for us is that of the Wheel of Fortune. Right now, in particular, feels like it's a reset for a lot of us. And I get this image of a clock, how it's ticking and turning all the way until it reaches back to 1. And again, the wheel is resetting for a lot of us. We may reflect, gather ourselves, and set new intention as it waxes towards the full moon. Planting seeds, if you will, so it may grow full by the full moon. However, there is always two sides to a coin, so to speak. Even though this fresh cycle and new beginning is happening, change will happen as well. But the change doesn't happen through comfort, as what the Wheel of Fortune often portrays. Now, let us move forward. Take a breath, settle in, and let the veil open. In the first episode, we talked a lot about the inner child and why it plays such an important role in art witchery, specifically in regards to our imagination. And I want to touch base on it just a little bit more in depth here. That wild, curious soul who wants to create freely without hesitation or fear. The inner child is more than a memory. It's a living muse, a creative familiar. It's where wonder and play can become a ritual in a spiritual way. And this is why I believe it's a good thing to be your own muse, because you inspire yourself without needing external factors. You don't shun your inner child. Through art, you give your inner child the freedom from your everyday adult life. And let's be honest, being an adult sucks, and it's hard because of the responsibilities. But you can return to your inner child for just a sacred moment when you do witchcraft and art, spirituality and art. You'll notice it does something to the soul and spirit, like feeding it or giving it nourishment. It's beautiful. When we honor our inner child, we return to the original magic of making, scribbling, smearing, daydreaming, imagining. And this isn't about being childish. It's about reclaiming your raw joy and bold expression. Who you were and always were before having to join the performance of this world and reality. Before having to mask for society. And realizing that when we reclaim that raw joy and embrace our expression unapologetically, that in itself is power. That we have unlimited access to. When we, we just have to realize it and realize it's not that far to reach. It's already within our grasp. We just haven't realized it yet because our vision is planted in the matrix, if you will. Now, remember, in the last episode, I was mentioning how our inner child was a creator, or is a creator, a god or goddess in training. I brought this up specifically because, and now I can actually bring it up more in depth in this episode, but it's because I had a discussion with my older brother, who his native name, I'm going to call him by, is 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪, even though he is technically older than me. I forgot specifically what we had talked about that warrant this topic, but I told him, picture himself as a god. And you have a piece of paper in your hand, right? It's perfect. It's clean, it's blank, and it looks beautiful. He goes, yeah, okay. And I say, let's say this is someone's spiritual path. This piece of paper is someone's spiritual path, or a particular aspect in life. And then I begin to press my fingers into the paper. My indentation of the paper is ruining the paper from its perfection. And I tell him this is what it means to be a divine, to be part of the divine, to be a creator. Crumbling the paper up more, I'm destroying it. But see, that's only one perspective. That's all you're seeing at the moment, right? What if I'm folding and crumbling this paper up to make a boat, a funnel, a pocket? What if I write upon the paper a story and destroy it more because it's no longer white or blank? What am I doing? What are you doing? I want you to think about that for a moment. When we are creating, we are destroying. When we are destroying, we are creating. It's a never-ending cycle. And it can be beautiful. It can be scary. But it never truly is ugly. And it's never the end. We, as creators, can create from nothing. And if that isn't magical, then I don't know what is. And here's the thing. When we ask the divine or deities or our spirit team to help us with manifesting or to make way for better things, sometimes the bad happens first because the eraser crumbs are building up from it being rubbed over the same spot so many times to erase something that isn't entirely a mistake. No. But it's needed so the art piece can be refined. There is a quote by Pablo Picasso that reads, "Art is chaos taking shape." And I feel like that represents how life can be sometimes as well. Not even just someone's spiritual path. Now, I like to try and get some suggestions in my little podcast for you all, just to help your inspiration. You might connect with your inner child through freestyle sketching without judgment, building altars with toys, charms, or objects that make you feel magical, telling yourself stories, or imagining conversations with your art. Maybe even meditate with your art and write down what comes through it. You might get info that you might had bypassed when you were creating it. I actually did this little experiment with myself not too long ago, and I plan on sharing the results with you later on. However, in many ways, to create is to heal. To heal is to remember, and to remember is sacred. After all, it is a reunion with yourself. Now, Let's speak of imagination, not just as an escape, but as a sacred space. Intuition is the astral canvas of the art witch. In my eyes, in my view, in my opinion. Just take a moment and think about it. Because you can do a lot in the astral plane, whether it's the real astral plane or your inner one. It's where we visualize spells, we build worlds, and summon archetypes, and so much more. When we close our eyes and see with the third eye, we enter the temple of imagination. Through imagination, we design rituals, we create visual sigils or symbols, we envision the energies we wish to call in, we embody deities, guides, or spirits in our work, and so much more. Your creative vision is your spiritual sight. I repeat, your creative vision is your spiritual sight. Our third eye, our pineal gland, dream expansively with it. It's a gift. Use it. Without the fear that you're too much and that you don't deserve to take up space. Because I'm here to tell you, and even myself as a reminder, that we all deserve to take up space. There is no such thing as being too much. As an artist and as a witch, just as a person in general. And if someone says we're being too much, then they can just handle our awesomeness and our authenticity. Or sorry, I said that completely wrong. I said they can't handle? No, they can't handle. They can't handle our awesomeness and authenticity. Period. Okay, but, real talk. I know when people say things like this, even I joke about it, it still hurts a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, and it's okay to be honest with yourself in regards to this. But don't let it control your whole life and outlook on things. Don't give it that much power over you. And I know it's easier said than done. Now, next, moving along, we step into the realm of intuition. That silent compass, that deep inner knowing without logic, without our mind reacting first, as the pathway from the mind to the heart is often difficult, and I should know. For us, art witches, I like to believe that our intuition whispers through symbols, colors, textures, and emotions. Especially emotions, and of course, energy. It's the nudge to use red thread instead of blue. Especially, it's this inner knowing to draw even the same spiral again and again and again. To create something without knowing why. Maybe even turning a tarot card reverse when it wasn't originally and knowing you need to pull just one more card, but you don't know why. Your soul knows why. Your heart knows why. Mentally, you may not because it's still catching up and trying to overanalyze. Your intuition is your spirit guide through your craft. And to strengthen it, you can practice daily art rituals. Journal your feelings after creating. Trust the strange ideas or sudden inspirations and pulls you get. Sometimes the message comes through the art before it comes to your mind. Like your heart knows before your mind can comprehend it, funny enough. Let it speak though. Ever since I started working with Loki, there is a affirmation, if you will, that I now use to remind myself when faced with uncertainty. And that is to simply embrace. uncertainty. That I embrace uncertainty. Loosen the hold and need for control and just embrace it. You might get a pretty good story to tell through it too. And finally, intention. Intention is the ritual within the ritual. It's what transforms craft into spell, art into offering. It's the meaty and juicy part of it all. You can draw a bird for fun, or you can draw a bird to call in freedom. You can paint a landscape, or you can paint it to ground your spirit. Many witches draw their deities in honor and as an offering to them. Many sing to them. Many make poems, or simply make their own prayers and chants for them as well. I personally have drawn spirits and deities as a way to honor and show my gratitude, to craft it as an offering to them from my heart. As witches, our awareness turns ordinary acts into sacred ones, and it's beautiful. Ask yourself, why am I creating this? What energy do I want it to hold? Who or what is this for? Let intention guide your hand, and the rest will follow. With this being said, I would like for you, my starlights, to remember when you bought an item from a person and could feel the energy within it. I bring this up because there were many times I bought certain items and certain things from artists and just fell in love with the energy tied to it. I could feel the energy and the beauty of it, and it just made the item that much more special. You can tell when someone pours their love and energy into something artistic, which just made me realize just now, what if this is a reason why some people tear up and cry when they hear music that speaks to their soul? Not out of sadness or even happiness. It just does something to them that words cannot express. It's a I see you, the real you, but through frequency and vibration. Some food for thought. Anyways, to be an art witch is to embrace all of this. The joy of the inner child, the dreams of imagination, the wisdom of intuition, and the sacred power of intention. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, aligned, awake to what wants to be born through you or spoken through you. After all, you are a conduit, a channeler in your own sense. So until next time, my starlights, may your art be your altar, your brush a wand, your voice a bold spell. I'm Star Watcher, and you've been listening to Starlit 𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓲. Tread softly, dream boldly, and I'll see you among the stars. 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪